Welcome to the Locker. Season 6, episode 11. I'm A. White, along with Van House. Supposed to have Scotty Mitchell. I'm checking on him, see where the hell he at. We might have Scotty Mitchell on. How's it going, Van House? Oh, I don't know. It could be cold feet. We don't know. Could be cold feet. Here's the problem. Let me ask you this, man. And I was watching, man. Man, if you watch, was it Suggs? Did you watch what Suggs was talking about playing against Aaron Hernandez? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm telling you, that's good entertainment. Mind you, Van, we've been doing this shit for 6 years. So the stuff they do, we ain't playing the NFL for multiple year Pro Bowls or none of that. But if you UK, who do you know UK? Because KSR ain't allowed to tell exactly if something controversial going on. I don't even know any other avenue to go. And we don't, and as UK athletes, we shouldn't be relegated just to discussing UK athletics. But I know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, and that's why you want to go to Patreon. I'm not doing that. I ain't gonna say I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna say I'm not doing it. But my whole point was when I watch like I Am Athlete and Up in Smoke. What's the one that the basketball players do? That's led by
the 502. By Jeff Teague.
No, I love Jeff Teague's one, but it's one done by what's the light skinned brother that went over there to beat somebody up when he was cheating with his woman?
Oh, that's Up in Smoke. That's
Up in Smoke.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like that.
No, you said it.
You got a speak impediment. No, I said I am athlete.
You said up in Smoke at first. That was your first one. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah, you own it, man. You own it.
So my point was, Scotty was gonna come on. We gonna talk some other things, but I was gonna try and get we was talking about athletics and sports. We were gonna talk about athletics and parents in sports when their kids are athletes. Because Derek Tatum, which was one of my former teammates, he was gone by the time you got there. No, he was not there before you left. You were gone by the time he got there.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So I was just like, man, he had some hellified topics on there. I was just like, man, you know what? I'm trying to get him come on. He wouldn't get on, but I know Scotty has some things. I want to see how the locker rooms was different. I was in the locker room with you under Curry. You were not in the locker room with me under Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the Morris locker room. I think the Morris locker room would have been happy. Morris was a good guy.
Morris. I would say so.
But then Brooks came in and brought a winning culture. I ain't gonna say he was Bill Belichick, but I think he did hold people accountable. Do you not know or no? That's what I'm saying. All we know is what Brooks what he did. Like, we just know that his winning percentages, the players he put in, we don't know how he went on about business. Like Hal Mummy had open practice. We know how Hal Mummy's practices went.
Okay.
Stoops don't so much allow that. I don't know what Morris did, but I just know if Scotty feels as if, man, some things went on, whoop-de-woo, I really would like to hear from a lot of different eras. Like, I would like to get some eras before Mummy. I'm saying, so now that we in that little distance season where there's not a whole lot of UK stuff going on, that's what we do. We just shake and see what people are doing.
That would be. You know what, man? Now that you say that, Anthony, is it too close to home to bring on someone like a Reggie Russ or a G Harris?
No, they too close. Like you got the same account they got. No, but you got the same account they got.
No, it wouldn't be. Here's the reason why.
Because you were spoiled.
Here's the reason why. because
spoiled. That's why
they came from a situation of winning and had expectations of players being a certain way when they got here, and it wasn't that way. What I'm saying is it too close to home for them to be talking about some players that are still, relatively?
We can line a couple of them up. Let me see. What's this? May? This is my birthday. Yeah. If Scotty, we can get Scotty to come on, we'll line them up. That's what we do all May. We just line them up. We just line up players in different areas to come on and talk about what it was like. Because I know they're talking about a friend Kersey and
dude.
Oh man, they used to go beat people up, go pillage. And, man. They was like, man, I know under Hal Mumble, we got in trouble for beating people up when I told you they went to the frat row and somebody jumped Mike Gerald. Mike Gerald was on crutches.
Man, look, Anthony, I know you told me there's new people every what amount of seconds in TV and radio, so you can repeat yourself. And when I got to Kentucky in '93, I was told that was the last recruiting class of Jerry Claiborne. Them players that were seniors that year was different than their mentality. Them jokers was different from the players after that, to the Curry type of high character, high morale, those type of players. And bruh, the players that Jerry Claiborne, that last class, that was the level of nastiness that was gone once they left. The Marty Moores,
why would you take it out of them though? Why would you take it out of them?
No. See, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't taken out of them. What I'm saying is when they graduated, that was the last class of Jerry Claiborne recruiting those type of players. The next class was Coach Curry's first class. They were high stand-up individuals. They were high character players. He didn't take it out of them, but the type of players that he recruited from that point on was, from what I could tell, was different from the type of players Claiborne recruited.
Yeah, because you won't. So you know what happened. So you know what happened after Reggie Brooks and the bus left Notre Dame.
No, what happened?
What you mean? So when Notre Dame played Miami, they ain't want some thugs. Most they ain't want those thugs.
That was Bus's last year?
No, I'm not saying this. Who you say?
You said Bus.
No, that was not his last year. I'm saying from those years, Notre Dame started going down.
Oh, okay.
But they ain't want no thugs. And I'm not saying Reggie Brooks was a thug. I ain't saying Reggie was a thug. I ain't saying the Rocket was a Rocket. What did Rocky play? Syracuse, right?
Yeah. Rocket played at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. Yeah. So I'm saying we're not saying Tony Rice. We're not saying none of them were thugs. But he was saying the narrative was when they played. When did they play Miami?
They played Miami in South Bend.
That was years after the bus, though.
That was years before the bus.
No.
The Catholic versus convicts. I'm sure that was way before the bus.
That may have been. The point was the whole narrative that Notre Dame became, we were not gonna have thugs on the field. So they decided to not recruit. I don't know what thugs are. That leaves me in a tough spot because it leaves me in a spot to tell you what thugs is an acronym for. But they don't want thugs on the field. So before we go now, man, you can't keep ignoring Ann's question.
Oh, I don't know. I think I got this. It was mailed to me. I don't think I bought it. I'm an alum.
And probably send it to you if she asking. And then you didn't send them one, then send me one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I bought that. The Catholic versus Convicts game was 1988. That was way before the bus.
Okay. But they
but you are right.
Something must have happened in the mid to late 90s. Something must have happened, but that was why they started, because I guess people wasn't meeting the record. They might have gotten involved in a academic scandal.
Well, and
they not North Carolina, so you can't be that academic scandal.
Well, look, I don't know. I can't verify this prior to this guy, but I know a guy who was on the Duke's football coaching staff. And the head coach went to the administration and said, we need to loosen the standards a little bit on the entry for some of these football players, with the caveat that we are going to make sure that those guys behave.
That's what it was.
And do the things that they're supposed to do to maintain the integrity of the Duke brand. And if there's no strikes. Once you mess up, we're going back to the old way.
Yeah.
So that might be what Notre Dame went through, but Notre Dame went through a little bit of I don't want to say a bad term, but they were not as consistent for a period of time after Lou Holtz left. And they brought in Bob Davis.
Ain't no damn consistent. When you make your own schedule, you independent. Ain't no damn consistency.
Yeah. Hey. Let me strike that. Let me say this, Ant, because this is the type of shit that pisses me off. There is no coach. There pretty much the majority of head coaches in college has some work. No, there's no perfect coach. There's only a handful. That's only a handful.
Saban's coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's only a handful. There are a couple, but there's only a handful, right? So when Lou Holtz left, they had their issues. It took them some iterations before they got themselves back to kind of where Notre Dame used to be. A lot of people want to fire Stoops because he tempted to exit and people got pissed. You fire his ass.
I don't think he attempted to exit. It was a poach.
Whatever you want to call it. People saw him.
No. Hell no. This is a locker. And this is what the locker is about. Because this is how these conversations start. Me and Van would have these conversations on the phone, and we just brought in the video. No. So you think that Stoops was like, I want out of Kentucky, and they want me. No, because this is where, and this is what I'm going to tell you, Van. This is where the media, everybody who knows, this is where I know, because I know somebody on Texas A&M's athletic squad. This is where the fucking problem came in. They offered Stoops. They didn't ask the big hat. Stoops was entertaining it. You do know they was gonna pay Stoops $2.5 million less than they paying him now, or $2 million less. In order for you to get to where you are now, you had to win the West. You had to go to the SEC. You had it so basically, why would you leave Lexington where you can win 6 games and get $9 million as opposed to go there? But even the big here's
you giving them the information for fucking free. I've been telling you this. This is inside information that should be on a level that people will have to find a way to see it. You giving them top-notch behind-the-scenes information. I was giving.
That's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm gonna block the show and tell everybody we ain't coming back on until we see $100 on her. No, but not for real, for real. So the deal was they offered him and I don't think Stoops was gonna take that deal. So that's where everybody keeps saying, well, maybe he inflated it. Stoops was not about to take $7 million to have to win the SEC West, but we were going to straight conferences, and we were going to. So we have to win SEC West and bowl game. When he can win, he can make 9 just showing up, plus bowl game money. And you was gonna have the best recruits. Now, if you didn't do that in 3 years,
you was out of there. Yeah. Get it.
So, point was, man, so stop all these damn narratives, or he was going to leave us. Stoops, and that's what I've been telling. Stoops was not leaving us.
Anthony,
if he was, he's a dummy.
Anthony, I was talking about.
Now, if he was looking forward to it, but yeah, when you look like, hey, I want to leave my wife, and it's that, what's that girl that in Louisville was stripping around?
Oh, I can't remember.
Was doing the Yeah, like you got $100 hooker, and that's not related in any way. It's just saying that when you felt like you were gonna leave a good deal, and you find out, damn, that's what you offering me. So I don't think he was gonna take it, but the big hat didn't want him. So I don't know why y'all keep saying he was gonna leave. No, once he was trying to leave, he was gonna find out he was better here. So y'all should be mad that he came back, because he only came back because it was $2 million more on the table to win 6 games than it was to win the damn SEC West.
You giving factual information.
Because next time I come back, it is gonna be on the Patreon.
I'm giving information that
ask Matt Jones to tell you, because Matt Jones told y'all wasn't true. I know for a fact what it was, but go ahead.
I was giving you information that the group chat.
I'm gonna block this. I'm gonna block this show afterwards. I'm gonna block it. No, I definitely am, because I don't know. I mean, it's too much information I gave that too many people are accountable for. I'm cool with being accountable for my information, but I'm gonna block this show after it's over. I ain't gonna post it.
But what I'm saying is that the group chats are down on Stoops because they felt like they turned his back on him, and Mitch allowed him to come back in. And that's not the whole 100% story. But that's the narrative that's put out there, and it pisses me off because, and I just got in a conversation. Boy, that's why I love the show. We can just talk for you. I got in a conversation with some people in the group chat, right? And they are frustrated with the style of offense that we have, and many people say it's Stoops' fault, right? And what I'm gonna say is the program, if you remember when he hired Eddie Gran, and he said Eddie Gran is the CEO of the offense. He gave the reins to Eddie Gran. If people don't remember, when Eddie Gran was at University of Cincinnati, he had a great balance attack. Great balance attack. RPO, zone read, getting the ball out quick, all this stuff, right? But we conveniently forget that we were going down that road until Drew Barker got hurt. When Drew Barker got hurt, we had to go down another avenue because the backup quarterback could not handle Drew Barker. Here's the thing that happened, and I hate to explain this over and over again, is we figured out something and we were winning games. So why change it when the best position group of your unit ended up being your offensive line? So then we fed on that. And that's how we got to the scheme of giving the pill to Benny Snell and then to C-Rod. That was not the fucking plan from day one. We forget that Stoops hired 2 air raid guys to run the offense before he got to Eddie Grant. He hired Neil Brown. He hired Shannon Dawson. We just didn't have the pieces to totally run the system. Then we get to Eddie Grant, and we had some receivers that year. You remember Stephen Jones was airing it out deep. Stephen Jones just couldn't throw the intermediate passes consistently. But he had
play with Stephen Mitchell. Let me look it up. Go ahead. They might have just missed each other, or they played 1 year together.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
So the pieces were there to kind of run the system that Eddie Grant really wanted to run. He had Boone Williams, highlight machine. Don't know if he's going to go 80 or not. Explosive player with a quarterback that could dart the pill around. All that changed when he got hurt. And people want to say, well, it's Stoops' system. Stoops' system was Neil Brown, Shannon Dawson. The same Shannon Dawson that's the OC for Miami, University of Miami. And Neil Brown was
that. I didn't know that.
You know that? And Neil Brown was running that at West Virginia. So it's not where y'all get this from that he just wanted to run the ball. That's not what he wanted to do. It morphed into that because that's how we started to win. Why change the formula when you winning? It's simple. So it is what it is.
Man, what you got? The COVID? Man, look how you picking up a little weight over there. I'm losing weight. That's where we gotta start doing the show. Look how you picking up the weight. I'm losing.
I'm getting up there, boy. This tea getting cold though. I shouldn't have drank all my tea so early.
Man, without further ado, man, and we are talking about the past of UK athletics. So, man, it's old Scotty Franchise, man. Old Scott, man. What's up with you, big fella?
Man, what's up, man? Shout out to A White, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. You know, we talk about old stuff. That's my dog from when I was what?
Wait a minute, don't call me old stuff.
He call you old, bro.
Old stuff.
Nah, not season, dog. Like, the funny thing about it is, I know, you know, we're gonna get into some other stuff, but it's like when I think about Anthony White, when I came to know who you were, it was like, oh, he just got back from the league, he back on campus. If everybody do their Googles and their homework, they this man a program legend, you know what I'm saying? But he might not get his just due, so I'm gonna give it to him before we even get started saying anything.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Pleasure to meet you too, Van. Scotty Franchise, pleasure.
Yeah, damn right, brother. I've been preaching this since day one. Now, Scott. Now I'm gonna let you understand something, though, Scotty. Now, this guy, he'll be to your right. Also, against Alabama, fumbled 2 times, and you know what I'm saying? He dropped the pill a couple of times and had to lose that game. But other than that, he's stand-up guy. Other than that, he out
fumbles in my career. Hey, so a person that learns his lesson, two fumbles as a freshman, 4 for your career.
Not bad. I ain't gonna lie, like. You got to be open to drop the ball, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the part that everybody don't understand. He was open. You feel
me? Those fumbles. We ain't talking drops. Them fumbles.
Hey, man, Scott, we got we got a good time on here.
He just let it go.
Hey, Scott, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable because I beat him up 10 times. That's probably the first time Van ever really said anything, beat me.
He been holding that one.
Yeah.
That's probably the first, and we've been doing this for 6 years. We 6 years in. That's probably the first time he's ever took a jab at me as far as my career.
He waited till you had company and shit. He's showing out in front of company.
Hey, man, what you been up to, man? Hey, man, before we get in, we talk about the program's history.
I'm dealing with these weirdos in LA, man. You know, working with some artists, man. So that's always going
to be. You from LA?
Originally, right? So I'm a halfer. So born here, and then my family moved to like the Houston area of Texas. But I never really consider myself a Texan because, you got to be Texans are Texans. They take pride in being from Texas. Like respect to Texas, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I'm not a Texan.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, no, you always had that Cali swag, man. You had, I don't know, like you was unique, man. You had that down south, like cool. That's why I fool with you. Like you had that cool, but then you also was on that West Coast. But I spent some time in Oakland. You know, they're a little different out there. So you was cool, like, man, I'm West Coast, but you had the personality or you had the welcoming, because Midwesterns, we ain't welcome at all. New York, we ain't making eye contact. We ain't talking to you. So you was cool like a Southerner, but you had that swag of a West Coast. That's why I was like, damn.
Bro, I'll tell you, it was a crazy winding road to even get to UK, right? Because, I didn't have Scotties coming out of high school, not because I wasn't a baller. I just wasn't in the system, like, because we would go visit my dad in the summer, me and my brother. So I wasn't in the system, you know what I'm saying? I played varsity as a sophomore in high school, like 15 years old, 5A, highest classification. So I thought I was going to be a hooper, but when that happened, I'm like, damn, I'm a football guy. Damn it. JV basketball, varsity football. So, then I went to New Mexico. They gave me a little bit of money, right? But they were trying to keep me for free. And the older guys on the team was like, yo, hey, bro, we think you're better than here. You might want to think about getting out of here. And so my dad always wanted me to go to junior college first because the setup was just better. Same junior college he went to, right? First year, got hurt, played cool, still looked like a prospect. But it was the second year, really, I got a trainer and got fast. When I got fast and could run away from people, that's when everybody was knocking the door down, bro. It was knocking the door down. So ended up at UK because I thought that, I was like, my work ethic is never going to change. And I'm competitive. I'm trying to, they say the best guys. I think LSU had won the national championship the year before or something. And my trainer was like, yeah, that's why they got the big corner, 6 foot, 200. Like, you're going to have to, you're going to have to bring it. I said,
right.
I think I'm one of the best players in the nation. Let me go measure myself versus these guys. Now, what we did not know is not all programs are created equally. Lord. Tell you, because I had like 30 offers. I had so many scholarship offers, bro. Like, coaches would come through and they wouldn't even offer me because they like, look at the list. You're not even going to pay attention.
Right.
Man, so okay, so in junior college, it was me and Delaney Walker who ended up playing tight end in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hall of Fame nominated now. Like, he'll get in one of these years. It's political, but he'll get in. But he was a dog. Like, he's one of those guys that I think is like a top 7% athlete. No matter where you drop him, the dude's just going to be incredible. God said, with him, I had to get my work on. But yeah, all right, man. So tell me some other stuff y'all been talking about on here. I don't want to be dominating the conversation.
No, when we got guests on here, we just try to find. So you and Glenn Holt was X and Z. Who was what's my man's name from Louisville? Was he even on the squad at that point?
Who?
Dude, kid from Louisville, male, played a male receiver.
Yeah, Keenan was there.
He was a freshman. What was he?
All of us, bro. You got all of us.
That's what I said. I told y'all. If somebody was asking, I was like, man, that receiving room was thick. Like, that was thick. Y'all was thick.
We had a good compliment. Like, if you look at cores, just talent only, it's like we got some, and then both of them end up in the league, right? And I'm the only outsider, but like the room, they're getting off the bus. Oh, they know it's come time. But I think when Joker took over the play calling, like, he made that man shitty. Look at his career now. Nigga, he can't call no plays. Sorry if I'm, if you're gonna post this later.
Man's boy, right? That's man's boy. That's man's boy.
Well, hey man, I got a lot of SHIT to say about that guy because he spent so much time. He was my position coach too.
I ain't gonna do it no more. I've been on media for 20 years, Scott. I've been in media for 20 years. I ain't gonna do it to him because he's a fellow black man.
Man, oh man, no. The old folks will say he's colored. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between being black and being colored. My grandparents would say that. Oh no.
Well, look, Scotty, look, Scotty, I'm gonna give you a story because Joker was.
Don't do that one, man.
When I was this is a good story, so I can back up.
Oh, okay.
I can back up kind of where Scotty's coming from. All right, Scotty. So my freshman off season, y'all know off season schedule. You have curfew, but no one checks, right? You're supposed to have curfew. Ain't nobody checking, dude. We ain't doing nothing. It's off season. So look, man, we go through March, April, everybody just gone, right? Then all of a sudden, one fucking day, Joker Phillips goes curfew. Everybody but 2 players on the team ain't there. Now, why don't he just say, hey, boys, look, pull us to the side and say, hey, man, look, a former player that wore the same jersey we wore, right? Why don't, hey, man, look, he could have pulled the senior aside. Look, man, look, I caught y'all ass. I'm not going to say nothing, but y'all do that shit again. Now it's on. No. He gets us all in trouble one time. He goes right to the head guy, and you don't know Coach Curry. When Coach Curry found some shit out,
he was ready to punish.
Wall to wall. Dude,
Right.
Come on, man. So I know many of my boys who was in the wide receiver room didn't get along with him fully. So I this ain't the first story. I know where you at. So you ain't saying nothing new to the people in here.
Straight coon status, yo, straight up. Okay, so we got in trouble one time. It was before the game, night before the game. Look, listen, bro. What everybody is used to in the program, because I'm cool with, I'm cool with the administration, like the media, the athletic director, like those.
Hey, man, hold on, Scotty. Hey, I want you. We're in the locker room. That's the show's a locker. Like we're in the locker room. Everybody's watching us. Remember that. I just want everybody to realize
they got my number.
Dan and Scott's views are their views and theirs alone, and not the views of the locker. But continue.
Yeah. These are independent, and they got my number too. So if they need to holler at me, I can say it with my chest. I got way more stories. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep it in, man, because they're cool with it as long as I go with the flow. Yes. Oh, nigga, come back to campus, take a picture in front of nigga. Bump that, homie. Like, I bled for that, and they starved me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, okay, the post, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it. Like, I was just telling my particular experience when it comes to the NFL draft with me and Rich Brooks. Listen, there was no secret. I'm not one of these dudes that was, like, dreaming of getting in the league. Like, no, we were here. It was like, he was like, Brooks was like,
you prototype. Your body.
During that time, yeah, 6'3", 215, 220. By the time I got out of that weak-ass weight room. He's like, yo, you got big looks coming. You just got to run a fast 40. I'm like, well, shit, y'all the coach. You the coach. I just need to rock, dog. Like, straight up. Like, we all needed to rock. Me, Keenan, and Glenn. G. Hope ran a 4.3 on junior day. So it's like, oh, he's a lot. 4.37. Oh, yeah, Miami. He's Miami guy.
Glenn was that damn fast.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
he didn't look like it. He damn sure didn't look like it.
He would be perfect in this era too, because like you can't even get hit anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That dude, I think, man, he always, since I met him, he was my host. He was always like a smooth, blazing ass wide receiver. Like he could run all the routes. Some of them he might not want to run. It get muddy over that middle, but he could be an effective player. We had the perfect complement of guys that we could have put up numbers that they ended up started putting up the next year. There's so many things. And I want to make sure that I say that I wasn't a perfect player. I didn't make every single play. I had drops, you name it. But I'm somebody that defense still had to pay attention to. And, playing so many snaps, I understand the game. I understand what Joker called his weak-ass play. Like, damn, that ain't about to work. But I used to beg Dre to change the play. Please change the play, bro. You know this ain't going to work. We running a post dig route combination with the under on 10. We're like, bro, like, listen, bro. Because, okay, damn, I know I'm jumping around, but my senior year, we were supposed to be crazy dogs. Me, Keenan, G. Hope, and then Tommy Cook got his eligibility, his medical red shirt.
He from Ohio?
Tommy is from Texas.
Okay. One of them dudes was from Ohio in that era, but go ahead.
Who else from Ohio in there? Do we have anybody? Not anybody that.
No, I just thought he was from Ohio. That's the only reason. I continue your story. Yeah. I just thought he was from Ohio.
Bro, those three got hurt. Like they were hurt, like not playing by the third game of the year. So it's just me. So at this point, I'm like, target should be up. I should come out of this game. I'm counting. I'm like, yep, I should get about 12 receptions. You give me 12 receptions. I don't even need. All I need is a solid 7. I'm gonna give you about 110 yards because I'm gonna catch 2 bombs. You know what I'm saying? The other stuff, might gotta watch out for me, depending on if I'm confident that day. But
right.
But oh no, it was getting started out. I think I finished my senior year, the year I'm supposed to go to the league, with like 23 receptions. Are you? And my draft stock is in the tank at that point. And I went to talk to Rich. I'm like, yo, I'm not getting the ball at all. Like, bro, I'm playing 70 snaps. Everybody hurt. It's supposed to be rely on me time. Nah. He was like, oh, we just need you to score some touchdowns. I was like, I need the rock to do that, bro. And don't starve me out. You're starving me out. Like, if I go a quarter, wait, come on. If a receiver goes a quarter without touching the ball or a target, I'm starting out looking in the stand. I'm trying to calculate what we're about to do tonight, because I know this game for me has been over.
Right.
Oh, run out the tunnel, baby. 70,000. I've been dreaming of this since forever. And this is turning into a nightmare.
Who was your running backs?
We had Raphael Little.
Oh, you had Raphael. What's the old dude's name?
Yep.
Me and him bumped heads a couple times when I came back in town.
What you talking about? Somebody in the running back room?
Big one. He was fast. I didn't realize he was that fast. What's Tony? Tony.
Who? Tony Dixon? Yeah.
Tony Ralph. Y'all had Tony Ralph. Turtle.
Arliss.
Yeah, y'all was thick back there. Y'all was thick in that backfield.
We had guys, man. But they was trying to feed Rav. But like, come on, during that time, we had young offensive line. We wasn't like, we playing, come on, it's the SEC, dog. We playing Florida, Georgia, Tennessee. Like, those are adults across that front seven. So you trying to run, throw Rav all the screens. Like, bro, we do not have the personnel. We're not Alabama. We're not about to be marching up and down the field, run game rugged. No. Like, come on, dog. You feed. All you got to do is sprinkle us. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, hit Keenan. Okay, hit G-Ho. Everybody want to make sure the first thing a receiver want to know is, do my hands work today? So hit me in the first quarter while we just came out of warm-ups. You know what I'm saying? Don't have me halfway through the second quarter wondering if I could catch in front of all these people, because, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, catching the ball on the sideline is not enough. I need to get in the mix, get tackled. Like, okay, I'm strong today. You know what I mean? You just want to get a feel for the game.
You ain't no locker room issues with coach?
Nah, because I would not. Because, okay, think about it. It wasn't a social media era, right? So if I'm going crazy, it's a political game to it. They're gonna fuck me. You know what I'm saying? But listen. Me and G Ho saw every single scout, 32 teams that season.
Yeah.
Because we would look at each other like, whew, we could have a cool day of practice today. We could chill out. About 3 scouts. You could see the emblems on the polos. Like, damn, we got to go hard today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Get a little rest during the season. No, when them scouts show up, they want to see you practice. They want to see you practice hard, and they're gonna look at the film anyway. They're looking in the entire SEC, so they're going to see you, and they came to see you anyway.
Right.
So, nah, man. I mean, this wasn't a secret. Like, don't say nothing. Like, they trying to get into the NFL.
Right.
Yeah, this is like, hey, this is what we here for, baby. It was just a bad situation. The thing I noticed about UK coming from other programs that like are used to winning, is that if something bad happens in the game, UK tends to like panic. Like, it throws, the fans start panicking, and it's like every team makes bad plays. It's like, okay, well, what's the next play going to be? Like, hey, we got to be aggressive because we came here to win anyway. But from what I can see it in guys' eyes when we got to go play Florida, like, nervous, like, like, hey, man, I came out here to make my name versus these people. So
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say 2 things. I'm going to make 2 different points, 2 opposite points. So hang on with me. Stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm going to make this point, and this point is going to be pay worthy. It's going to be pay worthy. And what I'm doing is saying all this shit that's pay worthy. So when we say something's pay worthy, the shit we gave you now ain't got nothing to do with if you have to pay. Scott, Van, and I want you, so 2 things, Scott. I want you to the first thing is, Van, I know he has some problems with his receivers coach. What James Tucker do?
He switched sides.
Oh, like on some Richard Sherman?
He was a linebacker. He went to receiver. And when he was receiver, what did he do? On the sideline in a football game to the same receiver coach that Scotty is having a problem. What happened?
And
this is pay worthy. Now, this is pay worthy because people don't know this outside the locker room, but this is the locker. And I'm telling you, after this show is over, I'm blocking it, Scotty. I hate to do this to you, but I've divulged too much information.
Yeah.
I can field over. I'm for like, it's people. high-paid people that I got this information.
So there were some issues in some words and some
Joker Phillips was receiver coach when I was here.
Yeah.
He left and he came back when you was here.
Yeah. It was some words said. It was some high emotions. There might have been some tossing going around. It was so let's picture this. James Tucker, probably 6'1", 230.
6'2" or 3, because he might have been the same height as me or bigger.
6'1", 2 or 3. 30 with a linebacker mentality.
He was a linebacker converted to receiver.
And we were stacked on defense.
Yeah.
Hard worker. Did everything he's supposed to. And some things happen in the game with rotation. As you know, we all know, coaches have favorites. And sometimes the favorites get a little more run than they supposed to. But hey, this coach's favorite balled out, though. If you want to call it that. If you look, the numbers don't lie. So
eight of them.
But Tucker wasn't putting up with that shit. And we also know of the issues that I just talked about earlier with the checking dorm rooms when you shouldn't be. Other stuff happened because he goes and confessed to the higher ups, and players know the shit and they get pissed. So Tucker Justin had it up to here, and it wasn't a good look, but it probably was warranted for it to happen. But yeah, it was nasty. He had to be pulled off. Let's say that. So he had to get pulled off of.
So you're not gonna go through and tell the whole deal?
I only heard. I was on the look. I'm on defense. I'm on the field with y'all punk ass on the sideline going 3 and out.
I wasn't on that sideline. I wasn't on that sideline. I did red shirt, Scotty. So this is what happens. And Joker, I apologize to you because I don't know why I'm apologizing. So Mississippi State, right? Yeah, Mississippi State.
It wasn't Auburn?
No.
Okay.
It was the West team. I know it was the West team. It wasn't the East team.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, just tell the story because it don't matter.
Comes off the field. Coach grabs him. Coach grabbed James Tucker. No, what are you doing? You ran the wrong route. Well, Coach told me to so-and-so. Coach blatantly lies. That ain't what I told you to do. Well, mind you, this is a former linebacker. Aggressive.
With it. Wow. He earned sleep.
Oh, he went to sleep. I ain't know he went to sleep.
He earned that.
No, I ain't gonna say he went to sleep. I'm not gonna say he went to sleep.
Woozy.
I'm not gonna put that on. But he got stolen because
he pushed him.
And that's what tell you. And every coach I've ever had, and anytime I've ever coached, if I tell you to do the wrong thing, or even if I know you had the right intention, hey, coach, that's my fault. I'm going.
Right. That's a hit for it, yeah.
Right.
So
even if you told him the right thing,
huh?
Even if he did the wrong thing and you told him the right thing, Coach Smith would say it's my fault. Then get up in your ass.
Yeah,
but
get on me. Don't get on my
player. You might not play no more that game, but he ain't gonna say no. He did it. I don't know who told. He'll be like, you know what, Coach? Hey, Coach Archer, that's on me. Then we'll go on the sideline and he'll be like, motherfucker, don't be doing that shit. All right,
right.
Take your helmet off.
Again. Right. We ain't about to do this again.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't know. You know, one time I talked to Keenan. One time we was at a golf scramble, and I was talking to him. I don't know if at that point, I guess Keenan may be above me in yards, but not in reception. And he was talking about. I was like, man, and Wes, you play with Wes too?
Yeah, like man,
Wes like you was the coach's pet, man. They loved you, And Keenan act like he. And I'm not throwing Keenan. I'm just saying he was just like, man, he wasn't cool with everything the coaches did. And I like to say I'm not cool with everything the coaches did, but you know, I understand different personalities be a certain way. Now, I'm saying coaches, not saying Joker. I'm saying just coaches.
Yeah, in general. KB, man, he probably, to be honest with you, he probably doesn't get the credit he deserves, even though I know they finally put him in the Hall of Fame. But like I think the string of like great receivers we've had at UK after him, I think a lot of the credit goes to him, because him as a person and a football player is just like he just do stuff that is just like a better person. Like he ain't gonna
and the greatest guy.
Period. But cats don't even know. Like we had a bunch of, we had some cats from out of state, like, I'm from Cali, whatever. Like his brother would come to campus and take cats to the airport in Louisville because it was like faster to fly. I mean, it was cheaper to fly out of Louisville. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that will never get reported that like he just did. And just an exemplary person to me. You know what I mean? As well as a baller. It's just that physically, he took a pounding, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he would be better suited for like this era of football. So I got to take all those hits, but. Because he was just, I ain't gonna call him frail. It just took a little more time for his body to mature.
Then I'll tell you this: when I talked to Keenan, and I was like, "Man, you was the same." He got drafted St. Louis, right?
Yep.
I was, man. So I don't know. You wasn't on the offensive side of the ball when you was there, because damn, I guess Keenan came out what 04?
Keenan is
y'all came out 04?
So my first season, I'm 04-05 season. I think Keenan had 2 years after that.
So he came out 6.
Yeah, I think KB should be the 2008 draft. Him and Stevie.
Damn. So they still.
Yeah, he was there for a while.
So, hey, Scotty, you would appreciate this. But Van was underneath the same people because I was talking Keenan. In St. Louis, it was always, when I was there, I was with the greatest show on turf, with Marshall Falk and all them, Kurt Warner and them. It was all timing. Like, it was all timing. After 5 steps, you need to be here.
Yeah.
But you know what that means, Scott? No foot fire.
No,
you gotta take off. So if you gotta run laterally down the line of scrimmage to get up the field, but you still gotta be at that spot at that point.
Because that's where the ball is going.
And I asked Keenan, and that's why it's funny you say that, because like you said, he may have been a little frail, and I was like, man, he was like, yeah, ain't no foot fire. But if you ain't strong enough to really, like you said, if you frail, them dudes gonna push you.
Yep.
And like you said, he cold, man. The dude, good guy, first of all, cold. Definitely don't get enough respect. When we were talking, I seen a dude get cut that was drafted in the 3rd round. He got cut in camp because he couldn't get off the ball because you couldn't foot fire in St. Louis.
You gotta go straight.
Mike Marks was not putting up with that shit. Wow. Mike Marks wanted shit his way, 100% his way. If you couldn't do it, you're out of there.
Damn. Real quick. Were you in camp with the Rams with Tony Miles by chance, wide receiver?
No.
No.
I was in camp that Super Bowl year when they drafted Torrey Holt, that Isaac King, Isaac Bruce, Ricky Prohl. They traded for Marshall Falk. Yeah, I was in that camp. That offense was sick.
Yo, Oz Hakeem, right? So
don't even talk about Oz Hakeem, man.
Oz different. He built different. Oz different.
Well, he was a dog. He put me into him because, man, when I got back out to Cali, I was like, I'm not playing football anymore. I'm done. After I got cut in Canada, I'm like, I was the second leading receiver on the team, and I get cut the next year. Man, I'm done with this shit. But I get back to Cali. I was working this camp, just fooling around with the kids, showing them some shit around the route. He was like, come here, bro. Like, tell me your story, background, all of that. And then about 2 months later, he got me out here working out with Drew Brees and Carson Palmer and all that. I was like, I wasn't even gonna try to play again, but he was like, nah, just rock with us and we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Can we, like, at that point, I'm like 27, bro. I'm sure we all know some old, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't in the league already by 27, it's like, but nah, I was like, I rock with him because of that situation. I was working out with them for like 4 months. Like,
Oz was that guy. Dang, what was that?
That motherfucker right there.
But yeah, West is my area. West, we've been calling them corporate forever. Like them, West.
Yeah, they knew how to talk to people. They knew how to talk to people. I don't talk to people. Nope. Nope.
Kiss your ass, give me the rock. Like me kissing your ass don't make my play any different. Like, I don't care, man. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get a check for the fam. Like, and I'm just trying to be better than people. I ain't gonna play all this game. Nah, this shit ain't corny. Like, nah, it's corny. I don't want to do that corny shit. I want to ball out. Let me be me. You know what I'm saying? You hear the crowd. When I catch the rock, you hear the crowd, dog. Joker hated that shit. Like, he'll say I did something wrong on the route. Hear the crowd. I'm like, you don't hear that? You know what I'm saying? The fans, they fooling with me, bro. Like, you worried about things that really don't have to do with football. And I would say it to his fucking face. When he was the coach, when I went back to school to finish up, it's like I'm playing a political game. That's why I'm getting all these DMs from UK people like, oh my God, I didn't know you felt like that. Yeah, because I'm being fake with y'all. But I'm 20 years removed from playing at UK. Man, I live in LA. Listen, chances of me, it'd be rare because I got old teammates that are in that area, but it'll be rare that I ever go to campus like ever again.
I'll say this I'll say this because, like I said, Van don't come back a whole lot. I will say this, like you said, we put on the face anytime, and I want you just allow you to speak to it because I already know how it feels. I already know exactly how you feel, but I've been in the media for 20 years, and I don't want you to hurt nobody's feelings. Just let them, because you a person at the end of the day. You put blood, sweat, and tears. It might not have been your ability that did not allow you to. They act like if you didn't do this, if you didn't go to the NFL, or you didn't. Here's the thing, Scott, and I know what you were saying. That, and I tell you, I was under Joker. I think Joker may have a little bit of resentment for what he didn't accomplish but our fans act like, motherfucker, you buy your tickets, you watch us play. If I score touchdowns or not has nothing to do with it. You look at the record books, they look like whatever they look like. But the point was that I played. So when Cassidy Rowe went through the stuff, she wasn't getting minimal minutes of plays. Everybody stood behind her. Scott Mitchell come on and be like, shit, man, my time there, I didn't get the appreciation I deserve. Oh, well, what did you do? Cassidy Rowe didn't do nothing, but the whole damn state stood up behind her. I'm telling you, I know you was a dog. That's why I'm saying you was mature. You were, like I say, you ain't hating on none of your teammates. You Glenn, what's his name? Damn, Keenan this. I mean, so I'm telling you, so somebody come at you like because you didn't get the ball in your hands enough, now you got to sit down and take a seat.
Oh yeah, it's the shut up boy, and be appreciative. It's weird. It's always a weird feel, right? Because those, like, I got a contingency of teammates that know that I was getting screwed over. Like, you can see it. Man, we are down 20 points, and you still ain't getting me to rock. Like, come on, player. Like, and I'm trying to get in the league. I'm working to get in the league. Like, I'm not trying. This is active. The scouts is here. They asking you. Like, if you like, I forget. I think my draft year, the first receiver that got taken was like 21. Norris Moss. What's it called? Moss's brother. Mm-hmm. It was wide open. They was thirsty for receivers. I'm like, this the time. Like, I wouldn't think that, because Glenn went undrafted and he beat out 2 draft picks with the Bengals. Like, come on, dog. Like G-Holt is easily a draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Self-included. And then the thing that everybody don't realize, right? Because if you don't play in the league, they don't think you're a baller. Bro, when I went to NFL Europe training camp, balled out, but I wasn't allocated, right? But they called my agent like, yo, congratulations, we're taking him to Europe. Even if he don't go to the team that he's on right now, he's going. Bro, we caught the guy that goes around to cut people. We caught him out that night after camp broke. He looked at the group. It's like 8 of us. Looked at the group and made a 180 and started hauling ass. We like, nah, come here, player. Like, you cutting somebody in here. Who is it? Looked at me right in my face like, man, I'm sorry, Scott. I'm cutting you. I'm like, oh, what? Man, I must have called my agent like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, hey, they told me they cut me. I don't know what story you got and from who, but I am not going. And then, then I finally get to Canada, and dog, I'm beating out first-round draft picks. If the NFL supposed to have the best football players on the planet.
You was in Hamilton, right?
Yeah, I was in Hamilton the second time around. Rashawn Woods, that Oklahoma State, what he catch like 7 touchdowns in one game or something crazy at Oklahoma State. He was first-round draft pick of the Niners. Man, this is one of the worst football players I've ever seen in my entire life. We used to call him Mr. Stomp the Yard because he can't get in and out of breaks. It sound like a drum major. Like, terrible. But it's like that not getting into the league tarnishes my football reputation and invalidates, you know what I'm saying, that I ever even like played for real. Like, because my friends like, I don't Canada. Like, yeah, okay. They ain't seen the video where Ocho Cinco was like, damn, they got some dudes up there that should be in the league. It's just not enough spots. But whatever, that's just my thing, right? So when I made that post, oh man, they want to get at me like Steve Hellier getting at me. I'm like, Hellier, you are Rich Brooks' bitch. Like, don't you ever come on my page talking crazy to me. I got something for you. Like, stay in your lane.
You wasn't in Montreal. Where were you at your first year?
I was in Montreal for like 2 months, right? So
was Anwar there?
Yeah, he was actually.
Okay, that's what I thought it was Montreal. That's what I thought. I thought it was Montreal and Hamilton.
Yep, he was. And then so the next year,
he wouldn't have known you anyways. I just know you because I went back to school.
Yeah, I think I introduced myself to him.
Right.
To the locker room. But you know, it's always weird because I got in there middle of the season.
Right.
So when they bring you in, that mean they just cut somebody. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the dynamics get weird. But I practiced with them for like 3 weeks, and I'm in the office like, yo, what's up? I came up here to play. I could have been at the house, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking around stuff. But I guess they only really like to rock with people they've had since the beginning. They're one of the better franchises in the CFL. CFL got a lot of crap anyway.
They stay winning.
Yeah, they do. They do. So when I got to Hamilton, I got to go from start to finish. And then we played against Anwar like 4 or 5 times. We played against him all the time in the CFL.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. And just because we're on the locker, we always tell stories because we trying to be like what's it, Jeff Teague and then when they tell stories on the NFL level, we doing on the college level where the fans can enjoy some.
Although we started first.
Well, you're right. We started giving up the tea first.
Tell them cut the check. Send sponsors cut the check.
Cut it. Van wants the check. Van's hand is over. So same thing happened. Hey, Scotty, and this is what I want. And like I said, I just want this. Everything you saying is not wrong at all. I went to NFL Europe tryouts. I was allocated by the Cardinals.
Nice.
In the first 3 scrimmages, so you had 3 scrimmages in Florida. I led the team in rushing, receiving yards. I mean, rushing, receiving touchdowns. I get cut. What? How you gonna cut me? Well, we want to take you over in the practice squad. Practice squad? I led the team in every fucking category.
Right.
Man, send me back to Arizona. Well, you don't have that choice.
Oh.
What the hell? Hold on, Scott. So I was there with Berlin. I was in camp with Berlin, which I led the team. So they allocated me on the practice squad because Frankfurt needed a backup running back. So I go over there. Frankfurt is 2-1. The first 3 weeks in, they 2-1. Berlin has a running back go down. Berlin is 0-3. Long story short, we win the World Bowl 8-4. I was player of the week twice. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I was the second leading receiver, leading rusher, only playing 6 games.
Damn. That should be a solid roster spot when you get back home.
Well, now at this point, they had signed Arizona had signed Emmitt Smith. They got our. But the point was that era. Just I don't know if it makes you feel any better. I wasn't saying that I guess I wasn't a bit.
I'll run it. It's on the resume.
But I was telling you, no matter what you did, you was gonna get fucked. Like they already knew what they was gonna do. I just happened to fall into a position where they couldn't keep. I had one game, 197 yards rushing and like 87 yards receiving. In the game we had to get because they started off 0-3. We was in last place. Then we lost one game to the people we beat in the championship. That was the only game we lost. And then the game before we had to go to the championship, I had like 190. I had like 180, 190 some yards rushing and 100 yards receiving.
Yikes. Shit balling, right?
I was gonna break. What's the dude's name that played for Tommy Frazier? Lawrence Phillips. I broke Lawrence Phillips rushing record, single game rushing record in NFL Europe, and got tackled on the draw. Got tackled in the backfield on the draw.
Damn. So you lost.
Yeah, so I'd have had 201. I would have had 201 if I hadn't got
Damn.
But that should be guaranteed roster spot somewhere. Like that's the whole league. Is there.
But like I said, so when I watch the interaction with you, like I said, you already been my people. You already been cool with me. But I'm like, our fan base is delusional to the point where if you didn't do what they wanted you to do, or they don't see you playing on Sundays, then what you accomplished here don't matter.
Facts. In their mind. You know, something that I was always confused about at UK is like there was like this barrier between the players that played before, and like when I was there, I'm like, well, shit, I see
you respected me. You, Wes, T Day, you, Wes, T Day, there's somebody else. No, you play with McClinton, Marcus.
Yeah.
Yep. Like y'all treated me like a big brother. You know, hey man, tell me what's going on the next. You know what's going on here. But now you come around here like shit. Like we got to go through all this security. Like, man, what are we gonna do? We ain't gonna steal none of y'all trophies
at all, man. It's crazy because my JUCO is like, bro, we got a long history of sending guys D1, and everybody is like welcome when they come back. If you in town or whatever, you could pop in the Mount Sac. They'll be like, shit. They be like, they want you to talk to the kids because the kids are trying to get you know, opportunities, you know, whether they have the eligibility to go D1 or not. And so I look at UK the same way. I look around, I'm like, well, I know I ain't the first guy to play here, and I ain't gonna be the last. Like, where is, you know what I mean? You get to build the camaraderie of the program when guys that bled for the jersey are around. It don't matter. You ain't gotta sit up and honor them, and some are honorable, right? Like you guys, and it's like, but now like you want to build the program and need to feel like a big blue nation, you know what I'm saying? Like a nation, you know, we could take over anything, but it was just odd. Like,
man, you know what? Hold on, Van. I'm gonna ask you this. Based off what Scott said, and I accumulated this on my mind the other day. Because me and you talked about volleyball, we talked about gymnastics, because I'm in the media now, you in the media in a sense, that it seems to me like all the UK media or the UK SID, sports information people, all act like they were on the ground floor and no, we're protecting our legacy. Motherfucker, how can you protect your leg? It ain't no damn way. Now, mind you, I'm not making a strong comparison. Jordan should never go to North Carolina, and they gotta, okay, now if your protocol is let me see your ID, that's fine. And he should do that. But it shouldn't be, let me check and see if it's okay for nothing. And I'm not saying we all Michael Jordan, but we should have access to a program that we built. Scott, Craigie's, Van. So, but it is, Scott, I'm telling you, it's just not you. And that's why everybody, why you don't go, man, I ain't been in UK game since COVID. I'm not jumping through no damn hoops. I'm not a fucking pony. I'm not a dog and pony show. Right, I'm not jumping through no fucking hoops for y'all.
Anthony, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. So for y'all, I got there in '93. '93 was the first time we went to a bowl game since '84.
Yikes!
So the program ain't worth a damn to a lot of people, right? Then the next year we go 1-10. We lose 10 games in a row.
Ouch.
All right. So therefore, now that is a scarlet leather written across our forehead. You on that 1-10 season? Y'all
lost poop though. Y'all lost poop.
Exactly. So now what happens, right? In my opinion, because when Stoops first got here, it wasn't welcoming, but some old players could kind of filter in back, right? But once they started getting the Bud Dupree, the Sadarius Smith, the blah, blah, blah in the NFL, now it became a point of, oh, we only recognizing them. Sure. Bro, we can't even get a damn care package. Like, dude, you can't, look, you know TK.
I can't tell them stories.
I can't even go to TK.
50 years in. 50 years in.
And to get a t-shirt.
Lord. And that's a damn shame. Honestly. He ain't fucking Nike.
So there is a when you get away from this game or from the fans far enough along, you are forgotten. People forget about Anthony White because he wasn't a first round draft pick like Tim Couch. But they don't realize Tim Couch can't be Tim Couch without Anthony White and Craig Yeast. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just tell you right now, Craig Yeast is on the borderline of getting forgotten himself.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. The only thing that's saving Yeasty is when these young cats who are analytical and can, let me go look at the record book. Oh, he must have been good. They don't know a damn thing about him, though. They don't know a damn thing about Scotty Mitchell because you ain't on the record books. You go look at the film, you see something different. See, that's the thing that these young cats, we have gotten so far away from the game that we got guys who only know 2018 season because they're 24, 5, 6 years old. They only remember the winning times.
Right.
So we are forgotten. And if the university doesn't pump us, reinvigorate our career, you done.
Here's the thing about it, though. Here's the thing about it, though, Van. Scott, we don't need it. You have a career. We all have careers. The point is, nobody has the right to tell me, you or Scott, that, when you were here, motherfucker, unless you lined up next to me, or you put some money in my pockets, like that's why NIL now, hey, man, and that's what, Scott, I don't know how you feel about that. I want to see what you feel about this. If you want to say something to the players, put $10,000, $5,000, $1,000 in their pocket, then say whatever you want to say. Don't sit back just a casual fan watcher on ESPN whenever the game is on ESPN, and then got something to say. Nah, invest in the program, then you can say something.
Right. I mean, it does open the opportunity, right? That the NIL deal is crazy. I'll say something before I get into that. Like on the West Coast, don't nobody give a fuck about Kentucky, bro. And like that's probably what brought me back into being able to just speak.
Thank you.
In my world, in my day-to-day, like if I tell somebody I went to UK, they like cool. They kind of don't understand. They know it's a big brand.
You play basketball?
Right.
You play basketball?
Still got, you know what I'm saying? Still got the gun show. With the NIL deal, you know, man, Kentucky is old money. Like it's just like maybe they don't want the football program to be like the basketball program, honestly. And that goes back to Adolph Rupp, you know, getting a Cadillac and Bear Bryant getting a writing pen for winning the national championship in the 50s. You know what I mean? It's just something that has permeated throughout the years, man. It's odd, bro. It's odd, and will forever be. But you know, I'm not tied into the program in any way. I don't wish them any ill will. But when I think about UK and the BBN, it's more about you know, like Dick Gabriel. It's more about those guys. You know, Susan Lex, the people with the support staff. That's who I rock with. So if they take offense to what I say, they just got to understand I lined it up. So, and I've been around people that got to where I was working to get to and looked like, that's supposed to be the best, right? I'm out here cooking them. So it's like, I can look back and I understand where some things could have been changed. Like, you know, in the post I was talking about like the workouts. Like my body adapts to whatever workout is going on. If we're doing speed, I'm gonna get faster. But whatever, I ain't saying no names on that particular part because I have respect for those guys as men. But these other motherfuckers, I don't got respect for them as men. Like Rich Brooks, Joker Phillips, I don't respect them as men. Didn't as a kid, don't now, especially. So
I mean, you ain't say Rich Brooks.
Oh, Rich Brooks, man. My deal with Rich Brooks is
I ain't gonna support anything you saying. Everything he's saying right now is his comment. But like I said, I ain't. But your experience, I'm not taking anything from you. I just want you to know people gonna take offense to what you say. But go ahead.
Well, shit. Tell them to line it up. Line it up. They can hit me. They can hit my page. My thing with him is like when I sat down with him when we having meetings during the season, it's like you're not being honest with me, and it's like, bro, you sat down at my family's house, like all the way in Southern California. Like, you gonna keep real, just keep real. Hey, we ain't trying to get you the ball, so just don't expect it. Like, just tell me that. Like, okay, cool. I mean, I could do something else, but we're putting on this front, like, we're gonna get it to you. And where things are just tough. Like, man, cap, bro. I hear every play call that come in. I'm in on damn near every play unless I need a breather. So, like, just keep it real. It made me lose respect because before the season we're having conversations and you know what the goal is. So you playing around, and then after your eligibility is done, shit, he don't owe you nothing else, right? Like, at least I play receiver. What people don't realize, I mean, y'all do, but the casual fans don't realize receiver reputation is all based on numbers, and there's a lot of factors. First, I got to get the play call. I got to line up right. I got to get open. I need the offensive line to block while I'm trying to get open. Then the ball get here. I got to try to catch it. That's 5 factors, dog.
You got to have a quarterback. You got to have a quarterback to get you blocked.
Come on, like, and the play call, the coverage has to be right. That's another factor. 6 factors. Yeah. You can take one wide receiver out of the game. That's why I don't understand back in the day. We got three dogs that can get it done. You know what I'm saying? And we did not get it done. I'm gonna say it was a lot of play calling, a lot of factors, man. But those guys, those 2 particular guys, as men, I don't fuck with them.
I will say this, guy. I got several things I need to say at this point, just because I got to get through this show too. But I will say that I was looking up the stats the other day, man, and like I said, stats do speak volumes because my stats were a certain type of way if you look at them, but you look at the complete body of work and be like it's comparable. Quentin McCord one year had either 21 or 24 catches and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
So 33% of the time he was catching that bitch. It was some crib.
Tutties.
R.I.P.
So like I said, 24 catches ain't a lot, but 8 touchdowns. And he had more touchdowns than me.
Balling, man.
But so that's why you saying the stats. But you like said, the Tim would distribute that boy wherever. Like Doug, I don't think Dusty really had the opportunity to do all that. I did also want to add, I can't remember my second point was. I'm gonna go to my third point. Then I'm gonna come back to my second point. Did you know when all that shit was going on with Antonio Brown? You know who his personal trainer was, or his workout?
G-Ho. Yeah, that's his boy from Miami.
When I found that out, I was like, oh my God. Did you know that, man?
No.
Yeah, he went to jail. Got
the trainer when they was like the trainer jumped this person or did that. I don't think G-Ho was a person because he wasn't a trainer. He was the consultant or something.
Oh, okay.
But G-Ho was his, like the mom who worked with Antonio Brown.
Damn.
Yeah. Miami, man. The Miami ties are crazy.
They are. They are.
With Chad, you know what I mean? I think that helped him when he got to the Bengals, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, baller, he could play though. Should have got drafted. But that's what I was telling Wes in the post. Like, everybody that got in ain't gonna have no complaints. But I don't have to play coy about it. It's not like I'm gonna be on every week, on Facebook making some crazy posts. But like in that particular instance, it was about the NFL draft. So I just spoke my piece, and then I'm getting DMs. I'm like, well, shit, this is the actuality. And then Wes is their guy, so he's gonna puff his chest out and put on a shield for them. Like, that's cool.
I ain't seen Wes saying something.
Oh yeah, on that post, yeah. He was like covering up, talking about, "Oh, Rich Brooks love you, this and that, blah blah." I'm like, Wes, though, it's a different scenario. You came in, nothing else, right? But I came in from junior college. Like, I got here by doing this thing. It's like, and to be honest with you, y'all, the program is a losing program. I come from where we win the national championship, the junior college national championship. So there's certain ways I'm already built into. Y'all came to get me. I ain't come to y'all to try to be like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I can see if I was at Bama or somewhere that wins the Natty, like UK, like, yeah, I want to put my stamp on it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always work hard. I'm always be that. Sorry to cut you off, man. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
No, man. You speak, man. Scotty, I don't know you. We really don't know each other, but what I can say, man, is you speak well and you're straightforward and you ain't lying. Because here's the thing, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. We all go through the same program with different experiences. But one thing that we all know as ballers with other brothers is we can see the other side too.
Yeah.
Even though it might not have happened to us the same way, but we know some teammates that got jacked over.
Oh, for sure.
And the fucked up thing about the whole college experience is this. Scotty, I come from Louisiana where football is king.
Yeah, big time down there.
So when I get to Kentucky, my expectations are of a certain caliber. And when you get here, and you are culture shocked by the persona of some players on a team, it catch you off guard.
Big facts.
And it pisses you off because it's like, how the fuck are you on scholarship?
Ooh.
Not just on the fucking team.
Ooh.
You on scholarship.
They paying you to be here.
When I go back home, I have plenty of players that play LSU like, oh, dog must be a walk-on. No, motherfucker, this motherfucker is on scholarship.
They are invested in him.
And then people get upset with the way you practice, where you're going to balls the wall every fucking play, and now players are upset. And some coaches will side with the guy who might be a little more upperclassman than you and side with him, and now it pisses you off and be like, so why the fuck am I here going full speed then?
It's patronizing, it's diminishing your effort.
And you ain't starting. And like you said, I'm not getting the rock. I might as well fucking leave.
Man, if transfer portal was a thing, I might have got out. I don't know.
The mental, and we didn't have mental health awareness when we played, but the mental gymnastics that some players have to go through, fans will never understand. They will never get it.
Because, bro, if I had a chance to crash out, nigga, I was on the verge. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm having private conversations with my guys. I'm ready to crash out.
Right.
Like, to the point where, like, shit was so bad to the point, like, my dad never came to a game at UK.
Damn.
He was getting ready to line up Joker. Like, it was going to be a chokeout.
Wow.
Like,
Damn.
it was like, all right, we'll just leave him at home. You know, I'm almost done with eligibility anyway. Sucks. But, like, oh, no, he, like, I wasn't finna be able to talk him off of that ledge because he was going to be up.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad. He can't,
Wasn't going. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, man. You know, I'm not sure what the program is like now, but for me, I guess it's just a vanity thing for me out here in California because it's like cool, like UK, but nobody taking no flight to Lexington, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless I just push it, like, all right, I need to take a group. I need to take 20 people. Like that's the like I don't want to come back by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like I'm unprotected out there.
You ain't welcome here anyway. You got it. You ain't welcome here anyway.
Everybody, I'll tell you this. Anybody who come in here, it's certain people, like you said, Wes, they ain't gotta holler at me. Marcus ain't gotta holler at me. Like I said, Van come here. Van really ain't gotta have him, but like you said, like Van said, he on that ledge where there's a certain point. Wait a minute, who are you? Hold on. What year did you?
Yeah, what year
on that? But all the people who come, they usually holler at me. Not saying, one, I'm in the media, but two, and I already understand, so I already know how to maneuver around. I ain't trying to. I tell you this, so I'm cool with Fred White. You might not know who Fred White, Scott. You may not. He was on Tennessee. What year did Tennessee? 98 championship?
98. Yeah,
98.
Whoa, it was the year after Peyton Manning left. So I was 97. No, it's 99 then. Had to be 99. Because Peyton Manning was a year younger than me because I played him in
high school. It was a 99 championship, but it was a 98 football year.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So because for some reason me and him became cool. He had a job training here. I went and picked him up. Shit, man, come down to Tennessee. I ain't going to Tennessee. I don't like Tennessee. Right. Nah, man, I'm telling you, they treat us, man. We be in the box. We be so, man, I've been invited to Ohio State to be on the sideline in the boxes. I come to Lexington. I mean, what you say your name was? But hold on, and that's not a problem because I don't want that. Like I said, we don't need all that. But it is like the people who are running this ain't nobody doing no fucking leg work is what's pissing me off.
Right.
It's the media, the people typing and shit. Ain't none of y'all. But like you said, and I ain't knocking Wes. I ain't knocking Mike Edwards. I will tell you this. A motherfucker, I did meet Josh Allen. And we was at a football camp, and I was like, so-and-so. And I was like, man, He's like, man, your name? Yeah, I see you in the thing. And I was like, yeah. He's like, what you do over there? I was like, man, shit, man. I top 10 rushing and receive. He's like, how much you have? Yeah, I don't know, about 3,900 combined. Damn, dog. That was before he went to the league. Man, so he sat there. Everybody else was going back at drills. Me and him sat there and talked. I said, you work with Stu? Man, shit, man. Stu got my hands right. Man, I was trying to figure the game out, but the little stuff he taught me, whether he was bullshitting or not, he took the time out to hear me out, listen. And he one of the greatest. That's what I said. Keenan to do it. If Keenan never see me somewhere, not saying that you owe me. If I see Sonny Collins, Art Steele, you name it, any former player I see, even the younger one, even y'all cats, man, I holler at. But the program then got to the point where all these paper pushers are acting like they the ones who run the program because we want to see what when Shaw start losing, don't start. Listen, Van House, Scotty, look this up. How often do you see Dermontti Dawson, Sonny Collins, or Tim Couch repping the program on their own?
Right.
And them are three
all-time great.
And I don't want to throw Art Steele in there because I don't know him. I know the other three. None of the greats rep the university
because they don't rep.
Because they only call you if they need you to face the motherfucker at the university. Now, UK, I know the numbers that went up, so 1 or 2 of y'all are watching this. Do whatever y'all want to do. I'm not mad at y'all. Just do better. I'm not mad at y'all. Just do better.
No, Anthony. I'm sorry. No. I don't care what year you played. I don't care what your record was. I don't care what your stats were. When you wear that name across your chest, and all fans say, care more about the brand than your name. So when you have wore that across your chest, and when you come back in town and you don't get the respect after you done blood, sweat, and tears on that practice field, I'm not asking for a handout. I really don't ask for shit. I don't ask for shit anyway. Welcome. But come on, man. There got to be a level of respect for every player. I don't care what status you were on a team. You wore the damn brand across your chest. There should be a level of respect. As long as you call. Now, look, you should just show up and say, get me in the fucking game.
Right.
That ain't right. That ain't right. But if
we'll see what we can do. At least we'll see what we can do.
But if I contact you and say,
we don't need to get you into... No, this is football. This ain't basketball. We don't need to get you into a seat. They should be allowed. If you was a former player, you should be allowed in the stadium. You don't have to have a seat.
Here's the thing. And here's the bullshit. Here's the bullshit I've been told. And this is shit that pisses me off. I had a teammate that traveled from West Coast to come to a game, right?
In Kentucky?
He hasn't been here. He hadn't been there in 20 years.
Thanks.
All right. Y'all look. We played in the 90s. TK, you know who we are, blah, blah, blah. Just get us on the sideline. We see fucking sideline people all the time. Well, no.
Motherfuckers that did not play on the sideline.
It's only a certain amount of people that you're allowed on the sideline, right? Now, this is like 99, 2000, somewhere in there. So then come down to the Stoops, and then you got Bud and all these players. And then you see like 6, 7, 8, just because you play in the NFL. Oh, them motherfuckers can get on the sideline, but we can't. I'm only asking for 2. So you're going to tell me 2 of us can't get on the sideline, but now it's years later. That's the kind of bullshit that won't allow the older vets to come back because we don't feel welcome.
Yep.
We don't feel welcome.
Yo, sidebar right quick. I see my man Jeff Drummond in the comments. That's Jeff Drummond. Yeah. Because I did several interviews with him back in the day. Like, that's BBN to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the people I rock with when I think UK. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know everybody, has a hand in the football program, but it's more so people like that. Like, the support of the program. So, man, yeah, shout out to Jeff. Sorry for the sidebar. I just so happened to see him comment.
No, Jeff family. Jeff family.
No,
Jeff family. So. Yeah, so that was kind of. That's.
Look, it is something. It is something to hear. I'm sorry to cut you off, Scotty. It's something to hear because sometimes you hear players come back with with issues with the programs, but they can't eloquently state it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't like when I start talking opposite.
Right. So when you say it a certain way, you kind of, some people will discredit you. Look, man, all you said, it makes sense to me.
And I cleaned it up, you know what I'm saying? Because prior to, I was like, yeah, I'm finna go G unit on them. I was like, let me put some sheen on this, some oil sheen on that.
Yeah, nah, man. Like you said, man, it's like I said, most time, and that's what really tears me up. Like I said, I've been invited to Tennessee multiple times. I'm friends with I'm still kind of friends with Leonard Little, just from playing in St. Louis with him.
Yep.
But me and Fred White are cool. This is another person I'm cool with at the University of Tennessee. But they always be like, man, just tell me when you're coming down. Like Van say you got to make a reservation. But I'm from Ohio, and Van would tell you, I ain't even an Ohio State fan because I was a Michigan fan, and Ohio State didn't like I was a Michigan fan. That's why I ain't go to Ohio State. But they'd be like, oh, man, we can go down there. We can get on the sideline. Like the coaches and people they recruiting. But I'm like, anybody come in town, they asking me for, and I'm not no ass kisser. I'm not kissing UK's ass. No,
not at all.
They show me somebody else who caught 200 footballs, and they got to ask to come into their stadium. Then fuck it, they can do what they gonna do. But
weird.
It is. But like I said, you brought up a hell, and you West Coast, man. Why would you take a West Coast trip over here? If you do come, I ain't guaranteeing you a good time. I am guaranteeing you that I'll look out for you. I don't know how good of a time it's gonna be, man. I'm old as shit, and I just turned 48 last week, man.
Damn, bro. I mean, still thriving though. So, respect to that. You know what I'm saying? Aging gracefully. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go to the basketball court or nothing, but we can kick it. It's nothing.
Yeah. All my hair ain't really black like yours, man. Still, it looks like I don't know. I don't even want to call you out, man, but.
Shit, I'm cheating.
They might be naturally black. It might be naturally black.
It ain't not no more.
I like that little gray, man. Hey, man, embrace your gray, big dog. Embrace
your
gray.
Man, I will. And then that's when you go see me with no beard on. When it all go gray, it's like,
no, hold on. So that's disrespectful. Hey, that's disrespectful. Like Van, I don't like Vans because he got that shit sprawling out everywhere. But man, I'm telling you. How old are you, Scott?
I'll be 42 this year.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I don't know your situation. I don't know you. I'm telling you, they love the gray stripe, not the racing stripe the Van got. But they love the gray. Hey, that way they let you know you're mature. You're not a YN. You ain't a YN.
Hey, babe, you like my gray? She preferred me to dye it out right now. So.
Wow. Well, dye it out.
You are in Cali. She might be 30 in her 30s.
No, I ain't Uncle Say. No, I ain't Uncle Say now. No, I ain't gonna be back on campus looking around. You know what I'm saying? The liberal arts college. Nah.
Not that shit.
Like that. Well, I'm just staying my lane. You know what I'm saying? Lane is nice. Car is nice. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't want to
I ain't gonna keep talking y'all head off, man. I'll let y'all continue the rest of the show. It is a pleasure, man. Say, hey, white man, that's my dog. Even when I was a youngin' back on campus, man, I just always wished that the program would have the former players around. You know what I mean? You get to breathe life into the current guys. Unfortunately, our deal is not set up like that. So, man, shout out to Van. First time getting to communicate with you, man. I'm sure there's some eyes that have seen this show. I'm sure I'm going to get some DMs, whatever. My line is open. And if you really want to get to know the real stories, I can go G Unit, but nah.
You have a certain handle? Like mine is always A.White. So no matter what social media, mine is all. You got a handle that if they did want to contact you for some more commentary, and Jeff Drum want to do a one-on-one with you.
My dog, Jeff, let's run it up. It's the same. It's Scotty Franchise, how it's spelled on the screen right now. So just put an ad in front of that. Scotty Franchise, no space. Y instead of an I, Z instead of an S. Yes.
Wait a minute. What the hell you just say?
Oh my God!
Okay, God. Let me go to college right quick.
You described it the way it's on the screen. I was trying to type it while you were saying it.
Oh,
and you said why instead of I. No, I'm gonna send it out. I'm gonna send it out.
Yes, Anthony.
I want to get it your neck because I want them to understand that these are Scotty's opinions and Scotty opinions all along.
So if anybody has a problem, they can hit my line. If I got to make a crazy post once a month just to remind you that I stand on it, chest up. It's nothing.
I will tell you this before you go. I appreciate you for coming on. And everybody, before we move on to the show, and we're gonna get off with Scotty. We're gonna let Scotty get up and we're gonna reconvene. I will tell you this, Scotty. One thing that you did bring to hope, and hopefully UK people are listening, they do not do a good job of rewarding. Because I said Tim Couch is even wearing out at this point. Like Tim Couch ain't even really. They do not do a good job of appreciating the past. The crazy thing is they don't do a good job of looking for the future. Like they are reacting. So whatever's happening right now is cool. You don't look to what's gonna happen because shit, Lynn Bowden is one of the coldest ever. You probably ain't gonna hear from Lynn Bowden. When's last time you heard Chris Rodriguez's name? And he should have broke Benny Snell's record if he didn't. And I don't want to keep you. I know you said you're gonna go. I'm just saying we don't do a good job of respecting the past, but we also don't do a good job of looking to the future. So all we do is just live in the moment, and that ain't the way the world works. That ain't good business. So we need to revamp. We need to revamp our thinking over there.
Damn, bro, you bringing up tremendous points, right? I know I sound won't go, but you bring up a tremendous point, right? Because there's kids in Kentucky, like you got to think about the city of Louisville. They crank out pros. You know what I'm saying? Like on the football team alone, like I'm pretty sure I know about 7 guys that are from the Ville that played at UK and then played in the league. Like that's on the football side. We got basketball guys too. You know what I'm saying? Rondo, that's my dog from UK. Like the city of Louisville puts them out now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna stop running. I said I'm gonna stop running my mouth, but you just brought up a good point. I had to touch on that right quick because you're talking about the future. There's kids that show up to that stadium. Their parents might only be able to buy them one ticket, one game of the year, and they sitting in the 300 section, and they're clamoring. They're like, when I grow up, I'm gonna get on that field, you know. And that's what you need to that's what they need to work on enhancing. That is a great point, man. Well said, sir. Well said.
All right, man. Appreciate you dropping on. I tell everybody who come on here, and this is what we want. This is what me and Van want to do. We usually talk about topics. Man, we want to do, man, what they doing. Like I said, me and Van been doing this way before Shay and what's the dude's name from LSU? Your boy.
Who that?
ESPN.
Oh, Ryan Clark.
Yeah, Clark. And the Jeff team, the basketball. We've been doing this. That's all we was trying to just get on and kick around so the people can know some fun stories. But that's right, man. We appreciate this, man. But you got a whole lot of support on here. I thought it might have been somebody coming at your neck. But no, you got a whole lot of support on here. But I think because you well spoken and what he presented, I don't think you was disrespectful, but your thoughts are still yours and yours alone. Just
let me know. I'll come on again in the future. Just let me know if you want Scott Mitchell, Scotty Franchise, or G Unit. You know what I'm saying? Because I got, I can speak it. Hey, if that's what's up. Me to rejoin your show at some point in the future, please just reach out like you did, and we can make that happen. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate you guys and the BBN. Seriously, no, BBN.
All right, man. Appreciate you,
man.
All right,
bro. Appreciate you, guys.
You guys take care. Talk to you soon. Right. Peace.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
I told y'all I had some hot tea.
You ran out of your tea. I ain't seen you sip that.
Hey, it was so. Hey, ain't nothing like. Look, that was a pregame tea. I'm gonna have to give me some hot tea after this because that. Look, man.
I thought he was gonna come on here and say some ignorant shit, but he brought up some points, man.
Them valid and them valid. I ain't there. I wasn't there. That was post me, but that was valid shit. And I know the person who was in his room, and what he said isn't outside of
realm of possibilities. It ain't outside the realm of possibilities.
So, hey, your experience is your experience. And the way
and the crazy thing is, you don't know him. You ain't got no reason to agree with him or no.
I don't know him at all.
Like you said, you have no reason to believe because now you know him and you know the other parties. And that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling him. Like it's kind of crazy, like the same stuff. And I said, UK's cool, and it's crazy as hell. Wait a minute. Well, I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Because we're gonna delete this video. We're gonna put this when they say burn the tape, we're gonna do Cassidy Rowe. And like I said, I'm not beating Cassidy Rowe up at all. Cassidy Rowe got all that support from the state and did half a quarter, a tenth of what Scott done. But there's people telling him, well, I don't know who you are. Don't nobody know who Cassidy Rowe is unless you're from the state. He's from the West Coast. So our fan base just got to shut the hell up some damn time. And our administration kind of needs to let it know, look, man, send us out a pen, send us out a card, send us out something to put that when you come to any event, just show this card. I put it like this. I went to an event at Twinsburg High School because I was invited there. Now, mind you, it's only $5 to get in. I was like, yeah, where's Coach Taylor? I don't know. She was like, it's $5. I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to be on the list. What's your name? I said, Anthony White. I don't have you on the list. I'm supposed to be like, I was being honored. No.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, so they go get Mr. Taylor. And he was like, yeah, man, I ain't get a chance to so-and-so. And I was like, oh, it's cool. But they act like they wasn't just going to let me in.
Right.
Then House, I have a jersey in the Hall of Fame showcase right around the corner.
Are you the Anthony White? No, you just Anthony White. They had to verify.
I'm just saying, at some point, everybody can't just be paper pushers. And we understand now it's so much, everything is going on. Everybody can't keep up with nothing. But there has to be a certain point where it don't become disrespectful and the culture is being cultivated. The culture is not being, and I think that's what Scotty's saying. He's way younger than you. You don't know him. I don't know how you feel. Like, you well-spoken, but you the type of person that wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah.
You the type of person that wouldn't say nothing. So you are kind of like, it's cool. And to me, it's cool. Like, I don't have nothing to do with the Hall of Fame stuff or nothing.
Right.
If you that fucking dumb that everybody that has not accomplished what I accomplished deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame don't mean nothing to me. So it's not about that. But you all seem as if, well, we dictate what goes on at this university. Motherfucker, you ain't got no blood, sweat, or tears. And if they fire you, then now what? If they fire you now, you didn't create this culture. Susan Lax, I love her to death. I love her. And she will fight for us. But she's built up in that culture a little to the point where if they don't like it, she don't like it. Or I ain't gonna say she don't like it. She's not gonna push against it. The same way, I don't care what Scotty had to say. All right, those are his feelings. Do I disagree with him? No. Do I agree with him? Half. But they can't do nothing to this show. But if this show was subject to be penalized for it, then I may make a different decision. But it ain't. That's why we have this show.
This is why I'm glad Scotty came on, because of this, Anthony. With the transfer portal era, right? We're in this transfer portal era, right? And people say all the time, I've heard old coaches say, I hear fans say, why don't you commit to the team and just stay there? Go through a little adversity and players can't handle it. Why can't y'all toughen up and wait? There are situations. For me, hearing what Scotty said, Kentucky wasn't the right place for him. Not because of Kentucky, but because of the position coach, the things that the head coach, if you can't get it, look, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. There's two people in the football system that you spend the most time with. It's your position coach and the strength and conditioning coach. And Scotty had a problem with both of them. Scotty said, punk ass lifting shit and punk ass coach. them other people, dude. You wake up for us. You wake up at 6 o'clock. You go lift in the morning, and then you got film session before practice, film session after practice. You got one-on-ones, individual drills with the same position coach. You spend half of your time in the football building with those two people. And if you can't coexist with them, you might as well leave. But some people don't understand that. Some people say, well, you should just stick around because you committed. No, there's some situations that are not good for you. 18-year-old making a decision for 4 years, maybe he can make the wrong decision. He should have the right to rectify that decision. That shouldn't be taken against him because he left the institution. Now, for these motherfuckers who go 4 years for 4 different schools, now that's a problem. 4 years, 4 different schools is a problem. But if you transfer once, that is not a bad look because maybe I picked the wrong situation when I was 18 years old. That's not a crazy thought because, like Scotty said, Rich Brooks went into his living room, talked to him and his parents, and promised them a certain thing. When you get on a campus, them coaches are not the same people. And sometimes it's polar opposite. Sometimes a player should have the right to say, okay, you're motherfucking change. Well, I'm gonna motherfucking change my mind and go somewhere else. So all these people who get on players for transferring and blah, 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 and this, there are instances where it is better for, and not only better for the guy, the player who's trying to transfer, is also better for that coach, that position group room, the locker room, because when you get disgruntled because you feel like you're not being treated right, you should have the freedom to leave.
I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna put you in a tough position.
Okay,
Paint you in the corner. I agree with you. Bill Jobadiah Curry. I don't even know anything. Sat in my mama's living room. Now, mind you, I could have went anywhere in the country as well. I wanted to go to Michigan. That wasn't the case. And told mom he'd take care of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest shit about all this is when I got kicked off the team at 19 years old, and you was on the same team I was on, you know what people was doing. Like it was crimes being committed. People was going to jail. All I did was not listen to a coach that assaulted players, grabbed them by their face masks. He got fired from Colorado, got fired from Ohio State for the same shit. And when I didn't allow it to happen to me, I got kicked off the team, which was fine. Like I said, my life worked out fine because how mommy came. And this is what so when you're saying that, and I know that's a guy you really respect. And you know, I never talk bad about Bill Curry. I just really don't understand. And I'm a small cog in his life because he's done so many great things for a lot of people. All he got to do is one day tell me, son, you know what, I did you wrong. If he feel like he did me right, tell me why you think you did me right. I had to let you go because of this. No, you were letting that dude abuse people. And I stood up for myself. And that's what Scotty's saying. And I just thought about that when you said that because I love Bill Curry. I love the man he is. My what did he say? What was that on the program? My word is strong as oak. I don't know if he used that statement because that movie was popular back then. So when he left, I was thinking, yeah, man, I like him. And the first time I had a mistake, you sent me off of a person that was abusive to your players. So when me and you talk on that behalf, I know you love Bill Curry. I can't say I love him because of that reason. We could get over this hump. And he owes me no explanation because to him, everything worked out fine. And he's still a great man. I do know people who don't think he's a great man, but I defend him on those. So when I hear Scotty talk, I'm like, maybe the coaches need to reach out to him, which you really don't have to do. You know who did reach out to me? I don't know if he did it on this show or not. Tony Franklin. Me and Tony Franklin had a bad fallout at the end of my running back coach. When you said your position coach in the street, we had a bad fallout at the end of my career. He explained to me what was going on. It was out of his control. So I just thought about that when you said that. I ain't really want to. That don't really mean nothing to nobody, but probably me and you. Probably more to me than anybody else for me to even say.
But here's the deal, right? You had every right to leave. You felt disrespected. And this is, and I've said this many times about Coach Curry, and this is the greatest cog in his wheel for me, is he believed his coaches too much.
Yeah.
He rolled for his
coaches. Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's two sides to every story. And he always rolled for his coaches.
Yeah.
And in that situation, he didn't, in my opinion, maybe handle it correctly because he didn't hear you out.
Right.
He just went with, and this is the problem I have with that situation when you bring it up. He went with a coach that's only been there a few months over a player that's been there a year plus.
Right.
So he just automatically believed and felt like you disrespected him, but not understanding the total story, the totality of what happened, which should have been, hey, Anthony White, come to my office. Let me hear you out. That don't mean your ass coming back on the team.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Let me hear you out. Let's hear your side of the story, and then we can make a decision. Because for me as a coach, as a head coach of young men, I still found your ass wrong. But let me hear your story, and maybe even bring your mom in to bring your comfort level up. So I see your side, and you had every fucking right to say deuces.
Right.
That's the whole point of that. Sometimes these players, we as players, get into a situation that is not befitting of our mental health. And sometimes the exit is the best way to go. And I hate it when fans say, oh, he just leaving because he's not going to start, or he can't wait his time, or blah, 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 blah. I don't think people understand. For example, you come from Ohio, I come from Louisiana. We are leaving home for the first time.
Right.
Going to an area that we don't really know anything about. And now we get thrust into a situation that we might not be comfortable with. There's a whole lot of nuances to this that fans don't give 18 to 23, 24-year-olds enough credit for. It is a bitch. I tell all my players that I coach now, I don't think y'all understand how hard playing sports in college is. Set aside from the practices in the school, it's the away from home, being able to take care of yourself. Now I know they got cell phones now, so it's a little bit easier, but being on your own is a bitch. In a different era, situation, environment. Now, if you stay at home, and like for us, your ass go to LSU. you can't. No. If you're from Baton Rouge, go to LSU. These situations are different because I can always go back home.
Right.
If something stressing me out, hey mom, I'm coming home for the night. When I'm in Kentucky, I can't say, mom, I'm flying home. I'm gonna come home for 2 hours and then leave back. Them days don't happen. So there's some situation and issues that players have to deal with that fans would never understand.
I will say this now that you made me think about that. The only other thing, now you done got me back on. Now you done got me back thinking more about it. Because Bill Curry was a father, a teacher.
Right.
And a person wants to seek understanding. Why not? And I think this is the part you may be missing, because you find it little by little. Because I believe you don't even think it's realistic, but you trust what I'm telling you, but you don't remember it. So you're like, how did that even happen? So you can't fathom. Here's the thing. Why not discipline me? Why not discipline the hell out of me? Because when Bill Curry was a disciplinarian, why not give me a month, a week of me? So that's what I'm telling you. Me disrespecting this coach, which as an adult, if I was in his position, I probably wouldn't have. But if I was a terrible coach, all he was doing was hiding the fact that he was a terrible coach. I'm telling you, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. But the first time I was wrong in college, I was kicked off the team. Why not make me do up downs for a week? Why not make me do dawn patrol? Why not make me Why not suspend me for a week? I said they'd be kicked off now the shit that I see go on in sports. Here's the other thing, Van House. And this is why I'm saying Bill Curry really owes me a call just to talk about it, adults. But he don't owe it to me because I'm nothing to him. And I shouldn't be because he's went on about his life because of over 20 or 27 years. If he ain't felt the need to reach out, then no, 29 years, 28 years. If you ain't felt the need to reach out, then that's fine. Here's the other thing, Van House. That person who did that never went upward in their career. They went downward from Colorado to Ohio State to Kentucky to out of college. And the person he did it to went upward. So was I that bad? Maybe. And like I said, I feel like I would like closure on it because I know that's your guy and you brought that subject up and off of a lot of things that Scotty said. But the person we were talking about in those interviews with Scotty, I don't know too many people really on the other side saying, he's a good guy. You got him wrong, which I know Bill Curry's a good guy. I just don't know how that situation happened only because it was me. I could have been like you years ago. Like, oh, who's Anthony White? I don't care. You going about your business.
Right.
But I'm Anthony White. So I feel like, why would you do that to me, Coach? What did I do? It was that bad that I didn't jump on the football?
Right. I'm gonna just say this, and like you're right, there's some wrong to it. Like I'm saying, he believes his coach is more than, and that's no problem. That's not right. That's not right that you're gonna you can't hear a coach say, all right, I guess that's true. No, you gotta hear both sides. And if he didn't hear you out, which I know he didn't, so I shouldn't say if. Since he didn't hear you out, he's wrong for that. He's wrong for that. Even if at the end of the day your ass is still gonna get kicked off the team.
Right.
Hear you out though. Even if he felt like you quit on the team, you just walked out. There's a reason why you walked out though.
Right.
You just didn't walk out just to walk out.
Right. Yeah.
I
wasn't quitting on the team. I was quitting on him. And like you said, you chose your coach over me, which is understandable. But like you said, just had that conversation. But I guess he felt at 19, I wasn't a grown man. I don't know.
Yeah. That hey, and yeah.
That's the first time you ever brought comfort to me about that conversation, man.
As you said, I am learning this. I want people to understand this, really, because I feel bad about it because I was a captain on that team. We have two separate fields. When we split up, offense goes against scout team, defense goes against scout team. We on defense going against scout team. I'm gonna be honest with you, Anthony. We already pissed off at y'all. I mean, look, y'all. This is the locker. I'm just being honest with y'all. At that time, in those teams, defense was pissed off at the offense.
Right.
Putting us in bad spots. All the things that happens, right? So we pissed off, right? So now we on outside the field going scout team. And I remember the day. Now I don't know what was said, but you walking off the field.
Right.
We'll fight this conversation. So for us on defense, we're like, oh, this motherfucker quit. On that side of the ball who pissing us off already. Right? So how dare you ass quit?
Right.
Sorry ass shit that y'all. So now it becomes that kind of situation, right? To be honest with you. We be being honest, right? So I don't know. Just like the whole James Tucker on the sideline, I thought James Tucker pushed him. I didn't know he punched him. So I thought it was a shoving match, and he got held back, and then it was whatever. So like those kind of things, you don't get the whole story. And for me, I'll be honest with y'all. If you know me, I'm not all in nobody's business. That's just not me.
Right.
I'm to myself. So you hear shit, BJ, Billy Jack is the offensive captain, I'm the defensive captain. He says, well, he quit or he walked out, whatever was said. We're like, all right, cool then. Y'all riding with him? Or not? That's y'all boy on y'all sorry ass team. It's wrong. I mean, look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat and say we was right. But like y'all sorry ass, what the fuck? Hit your boy.
Right.
Now, after when we talk about it now, the puzzle or the vision is getting clear. Right? So now that it wasn't right, but at the end of the day, right? Shit happened for a reason, and it happened to your favor. It happened to your favor.
I feel like it was lucky, but
there ain't no luck to it. Because you know what? You know what could have happened, Anthony? As we talked about, you wanted to transfer.
Right.
If you transfer, you're not playing with Tim Couch and Hal Mummy and spotlighting your greatest talent.
Well, hold on. You know I came from a speed option offense. Tim Couch was going to transfer too.
I know.
And we were going to Tennessee. Now maybe I wasn't going to play in front of Jamal Lewis.
That's what I'm saying.
And I may have. Who knows?
But they weren't going to run the system that y'all ran.
I understand.
And
that's too much of a rabbit hole to go down. So I understand.
And that system fits you to a T.
I understand. But I feel like Bill Curry, as a grown man, and not a grown man, just a person he is. And like I said, it just so what is basically just what my point is. What is confirming to me is that it never meant shit to him at any point. Anybody ever done wrong, I sought out at some point in life and be like, you know what? I know I was only 17, but I didn't know your mama was gonna be mad when I you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But like I said, now the fact that you understand, because I felt like I was on the island and I don't really talk to nobody about it, but you in the locker. So now you understand. So at least I feel like, and the only reason, like I said, and I feel to be Hal Mummy, shit, I wouldn't expect no apology. I wouldn't expect no concern. But the type of person Bill Curry is, I would expect. Like I told you, Tony Franklin, and if you ever want to know what me, like, they was trying to replace me at running back before my time was up.
Right.
That's fine. I mean, you got to recruit for next year. I understand that. And Tony Franklin apologized to me for it. So,
yeah, I feel you.
That is the locker, people. That's 2 hours worth of locker, even with starting late. Y'all not going to see too much of it because I'm putting this on. I am.
Oh, shit.
I can't let this stuff get out. Let me see. So, unless you screen recording, it's over. This episode. Actually, I'm going to find out I'll post it on the Patreon. For Van's benefit, because Van likes Patreon. See how that works.
I'm getting to the Discord area. I'm almost on that. But yeah, I feel like we give too much good fodder and information for us to be just, you know what, Anthony, you're right. We giving the people what they want. That's all. You're right. I'm wrong. We ain't get on this thing to be
purpose.
Anything more than what we're doing now. So you're right. I'm wrong. You're right.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna download it first so I can get Scotty the raw jump, and I have it in the cut. But the rest of y'all, it ain't gonna be out there for people to be like, hey, you know what they said on there? And UK people to go look at. And I respect the hell out of Bill Curry. So if anybody see Bill Curry, y'all be like, man, Anthony White said, now now we can sit down and talk. I'll even pay. We can sit down and talk. Now that I'm grown, I'm gonna say exactly how I feel. But we can sit down and talk. You look like you're thinking.
And we might bring him on the show.
We had him on the show before.
No, bring him on the show to talk about this shit.
No, sir. This ain't new. That ain't newsworthy. No, you can't bring a guy on there like that. No. That's nothing to be discussed in public, for real. But actually, Patreon.
No. I honestly believe he doesn't know how you feel.
And that's something that need to be aired out in front of the whole world.
Y'all are two good people. It ain't gonna be crazy. See, even JD says you ain't gonna come at him in a way that's disrespectful. You need some closure. And I think he's at the age, Anthony. Look, this is wrong to say, but he let you look. He kicked you out of the team, then his ass got kicked out of Kentucky. So maybe he didn't have the time to come and rectify because he was yee. So maybe.
No, I don't think that's the route to go. Man, we might have sent out a poll. I don't. That ain't the route to go, man. He's too respectable of a man to air out this because I'm not going to be professional. I'm articulate. I'm creative. I'm gonna ask some questions that he ain't, and he gonna act like he don't remember.
Well, yeah, he probably won't.
The last time Lee Wesley brought it up when we had him on here one time, Lee Wesley said, the only last remember images I got is you kicking Anthony. The time when things was said on the show you didn't appreciate. Or people didn't appreciate.
Yeah, you're right.
He said, yeah, last time I saw you, coach, you was kicking my roommate off the team.
You're right.
And he was like, well, I don't remember that, but I think he was being facetious, but
all right.
Nah, Jeff Drummond. It really ain't been hurting me. I just respect him enough. I'm tired of I respect him a lot more than I respect Hal Mummy.
Damn.
Huh?
No. Just to hear you that I understand.
Hal Mummy tried to replace me twice.
No. I understand the why, but the way you said it was like, damn. Because from a fan standpoint, this is what I'm saying from. I understand the behind the scenes part, right? But from someone who wouldn't know the situation, for you to say it, for a guy where you had your best years under that guy, and you respect the guy who kicked you off the team more than the coach whom what fans would say, not us two, you flourish in his system, right? For you to say that, to hear it like that is wild.
And that's why we're on the locker. Because one, Bill Curry never gave me a chance. I ran a speed option in high school. That's why they recruited me. Because I was recruited to Colorado to do the same thing. That's why LEU was wanted me. Because I did that. So when everybody, I was never a pass catching back. I can do a lot of shit in basketball. A lot of people ain't do. So don't keep saying that, you were perfectly fit for this. No, motherfucker, I ran a speed option. So I run the ball. I make people miss as well. Here's the problem. Here's based off what you said, the reality of it is Bill Curry never gave me a chance because, like you said, he supported his coach. Hal Mummy felt like after his first year with me in the offense that he can plug and play, and he tried to replace me both years following. And when you couldn't replace me, you had to keep going back to me.
Right.
Is why my second year stats look terrible. Well, the overall is not bad. I didn't realize I only had 3 fucking touchdowns, dude. I only had 3 touchdowns my junior year. I just realized I never knew that. 3. That's why you can't put me in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
but how do I have all these damn yards? How do I have all these damn yards, no touchdowns?
Yeah, 10 yards though.
So how do we have all these damn yards, no touchdowns? Do I fall down at the 2-yard every time?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying there's more behind it, but nobody ever talks about Hal Mummy because it's not a discussion to have. But I understand. I appreciate you, man. You made me feel a whole lot better. And I don't think I'm really sore about it. I just feel like Curry's a bigger guy. I feel insignificant to him, the fact that he don't feel like he owes me any answer. Because he never gave me an answer to him. He just told me I'm off the team and walked off. That's all he did. That's the last time I talked to him. And I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's exactly how the conversation went. Yeah, when you walked off the field, you walked off on your team. That's the final decision. And walked off.
Yeah.
To the meeting rooms. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? I just went on campus and was a normal student for the rest of the year. And he got fired 2 weeks later. I said, yeah, now what? But I still respect him because it's all started off of Van saying, when a coach sits in your parents' living room, and I was 17 at that point, I'm gonna take care of your kid.
Right.
And I threw a tantrum, and you said, go back home. When we know what happens in college locker rooms.
Right.
I don't know. It just don't make sense to me. It didn't bother me. But he could do himself a solid for the respect I got for him, or he could just lose it at some point. Anyhow, thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, share, follow. If you got a way to download it, you might want to download this because it's not going to be available to everybody all the time unless it's on their Patreon screen. We ain't the type of person when people be on social media talking about, why does so-and-so post an injury report under a Patreon or under pay thing? No, it's going to be underpaid because it's too much information divulged that people don't need to be having a hands on unless you want to pay for it. Other than that, we might be back next week. No, this is this week because Mother's Day, I'm going home for Mother's Day. So I will be back next week. We'll be back next week. Subscribe, share, follow. We'll be back. Peace out.